Okay, back with you. The ad for your ad. That's an interesting idea, isn't it? But that's what the image and the headline act as. They act as the advertisement for your advertisement. So you want to be thinking, what can you say if you could, be on a loudhailer in front of a stadium of 100,000 people, and you get on the loudhailer, what statement could you make that would make your target audience turn its heads? Right, now remember that's important, because if you go out onto Facebook, you're going to be in front of lots of people. Some of them will be your target audience, some of them won't. But you want your image and headline combination to be really reaching out of that smartphone and grabbing your target audience by the collar and say, hey, look at me, right? If you're into AdWords, of course, that customer will have typed a particular search phrase in. And the beautiful thing about AdWords is there's intention there, isn't there? You're coming up in front of people who've typed a specific set of keywords or a specific search phrase in, so they're looking, right? So search marketing is a little bit different than interruption marketing, and that's what Facebook is you're interrupting. But the beautiful thing is Facebook's artificial intelligence can help, as you get going, refine the audience it's putting you in front of. It's absolutely magical what it can do, but you've got to start somewhere. Right, so you've got to start with your estimation of who your target audience is, and then as the responses happen, Facebook gets smarter and smarter and smarter of who it's putting you in front of. So here's something that we did as a test with some images for a client. So these were 5 different advertisements using 5 different images. Now remember, I said to you in one of the topics prior, 5 to 10 images, and you use the same headline. So I'm just going to talk to you about the images we used in this particular one for the moment. So as it turned out, images number 3 and 5 there on that list outperformed images 1, 2 and 4. So this gentleman sells phone systems, so phones on desks to businesses. So it's a business-to-business sale. And it's not to a micro business by any means. It's to a business that's up and going and got enough people within it that it needs a phone system in its business. So we had one there that was looking like a baby boomer style age business person, frustrated and on the phone. It's a shame that it was a mobile phone though, but we couldn't find anything else at the time. There's the young, cool, hip-looking entrepreneur person. There's the picture of the phone itself in number 3. There's the logo of the business in number 4. And it's got the word Phone Systems Brisbane in, and people are searching for phone systems. That's on their mind if they're looking for that business. And then there's the owner itself, and of course the logo is embedded in the background there, and there's a phone on the desk, yeah? But the hero portion of that shot is actually the business owner. Now, he's no model, but it's interesting that the picture of the product and the picture of the business owner won over, a sort of characterized, fed up, frustrated image that sort of signifies the main emotion that people have when they ring up to get their phone system replaced, and it also over the good-looking young entrepreneur chap there. Now here's the next kicker. Number 5 outperformed number 3 by 50%. So this is what you can tell with testing. And I wanted to outline it to you in that way and not just say, number 5 was the best. 3 and 5 were clearly head and shoulders above 1, 2 and 4. But 5 was 50% better than number 3. So now we know the image that's got the best appeal. We can go forward and test different headlines, right? Now, you wouldn't test a different headline with each one of those images until you know which image is going to be the clear winner. And then when you know the image is going to be the clear winner, what are other ways we can enhance that ad, right? And you make one change at a time, not multiple. And of course, when we ran this test, we did 5 different advertisements. Yeah, and we got 5 sets of statistics, and we could compare the best. We didn't start off and run an ad and leave image number 1 up for 2 days and then get on and edit and put image number 2 up for 2 days. You wouldn't get any decent, reliable data that way. So that's what's very, very important. So there's the winner, and that then becomes like a laboratory. That's our control beaker. That's our control solution. And we test everything else against that until we get another winner, and that becomes the control. And then we test and test and test until we get one that outperforms that. And as you can see, you can zero in quite quickly. You can do that very quickly. You imagine if you went to this in a systematic way and you were testing 10 ads for 48 hours. Then you took the best and you gave yourself another day or so to recraft and some options that would to test against that, and you ran for another 48 hours. Yeah? And then you did the same thing, and then you went for another 48 hours. So literally within a week, you could have tested 30 different ads for your business, spent 10 or 20 bucks an ad on that. You wouldn't have spent much, but you would have so much market intelligence. You probably have more intelligence about what appeals to your target audience in that 1 week period than you've gotten in the last 12 months. So very, very important. Here's some headline formulas. So the image is all important, but the headline is just as important, really. They've got to work together. So one formula for writing an ad is how to achieve main banner. How to. So it's a how-to style headline, and what you're talking about how to is how to achieve main benefit. So look at this. How to get rid of painful tinea for good, right? I'm trying to just some examples I'll give you. I'll stay within the consulting and training business, which is my business, obviously. But I want to sort of step outside of that as well for any of you who are not consultants on this call or on this video. So how to get rid of painful tinea for good. Now, that what sort of image would go with that? Well, you'd test some different images, wouldn't you? You might test someone who's running. You might test an ugly shot of a foot with tinea, as gross as it seems. Maybe that works. You may test a picture of the bottle of stuff that they use. A range of different things. You test male and female faces as well, and all of those sorts of things. But you'd use your common sense to say, hey, these are the sorts of images that I believe would appeal to my target audience. I think that's a red hot headline. Use that headline. Boom, 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 boom. 10 different images. Let's test, see what works. Move forward. The second type of headline that works, free. So 30,000 free phone calls. Yeah, we use that in conjunction with that gentleman I was working with in the phone system arena. Yeah, to take a leaf out of the book of the way above. 1 month free tinea treatment could be, if you wanted to sort of come back to this one. Free is still a very, very powerful word in marketing. It's been a powerful word in marketing forever and will continue to be so. Yes, there's been some people who've not done a very good job with it. They've been a bit tacky with their use of it, but that doesn't mean you need to be tacky, and it doesn't mean that just because there has been some tacky headlines using free, some over-exaggerations, and all of those things have happened, but it doesn't mean that a classy headline with free in it can't still work, and in fact it will. It will still work. If then, this is a powerful formula. So it makes for a long headline, but again, the best copywriters in the world will tell you that long headlines work. 17, 19, 21 words, in fact, can work for headlines. So if you're fed up with calls dropping out, then our crisp, clear, business-grade VoIP is exactly what you need. So if pain point, then and benefit-rich solution is what you need. So that's the concept there. You'll also see that if-then statement can be used in other parts of advertisement copy as well, and I'll cover that in another video. Get benefits fast, regardless, guaranteed. Right? So the idea is get these benefits fast, regardless of, and guarantee it. That's a powerful formula. So discover how to slash your cost of living by at least 30% within 10 days. So benefits, slash your cost of living by 30% by 30%. Fast, within 10 days. regardless. So in this case, it's without lowering your standard of living, guaranteed, or your money back, right? So for example, sometimes when we talk to businesses about increasing their sales, they'll often say, oh, well, I don't want to spend any more on advertisements or spend any more on ads, or I don't want to cut my prices. So sometimes they can have a belief system that the strategies that consultants go in to work with them on are going to be about spending more bucks on advertising or gutsing your price so you can increase your numbers of sales. So we want to guard against things like that. So in this case, this person has said, discover how to slash your cost of living by at least 30%. That's big. Within 10 days. That's hot. Without lowering your standard of living, or you get your money back. Stacked benefit. So this is an interesting one. So this is putting lots of benefits in the headline, okay? So how to grow your business, gain more free time and profit like never before in just 3 easy sessions guaranteed. So that's one straight out of the consulting field, but that's stacked benefits, and it's used guaranteed again to put more power on that. So how could you do that in your business in terms of what are the most powerful benefits that you offer? Pick 3 of them, and how can you run them together in a sentence starting with how to. So we're actually using a similar style to what we started in number 1, the how to. How to is a very, very, very powerful headline formula because it's about solution, right? So how to get benefit, right? And again, how to is in the one just above, isn't it? We've used the word discover how to, right? Discover is actually a more powerful word than learn. It's got a better appeal. If you were talking to people who were buying particular courses for the pursuit of knowledge only, learn can be very powerful there. But if you're talking to other business owners or other people, they don't necessarily want to learn. They finish their school and their studies. But discover is a very powerful way to do it. Ways to or reasons why. Okay, I'm going to give you one example of this and talk about it. 7 reasons to choose Waterworks for your next plumbing job. Very simple, and what will happen underneath that is there'll be 7 reasons, and they'll be all written almost like mini headlines themselves, and they'll be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's almost like a stack of additional headlines in there. Or ways to. The 3 best ways to reduce your stress at work, or whatever problem you're trying to solve, whatever outcome, whatever happy smiley place the person's trying to get to, what are the ways to get there? And you can power that up with even best ways to. 7 has been a very popular number in marketing in terms of reasons why and ways to. It's quite good. The reasoning behind that is that 3, 5, and 10 look like you designed the headline and wrote the content to suit. So 7, 9, 11, 13 look like you actually wrote the list and then counted it up and came to that number. That's the psychology behind it. But of course 7 has been used in marketing a lot. You can tell when it's a bit of a try-hard, but you can also tell, wow, when it's hit the nail on the head, when the ways to, and whatever the benefit is they're talking about achieving, right? When that benefit is right, the 7 ways to is a very, very powerful and still works today. So there you have it. There's some formulas for you with the headlines. Now, of course, all of this is well documented below all of these videos as well. So I've given you another another example. So there's 2 examples written out below for the examples of the headlines. Write lots of headlines. Just write lots and lots and lots and lots of headlines. You've got to get into the creative space, and to come up with that killer idea, that absolute profitable gem, you got to write a lot down. So understand that you might write down a big pile of headlines like this, and you might throw 90% of it away because you're going to keep the 10% that are absolute gems. You won't get to the 10% gems unless you churn through the 90% of rubbish, right? There's no such thing as a bad idea when you're creating concepts for your copy, right? No such thing as a bad idea. And if you start judging your ideas as soon as you write them on a piece of paper, you will kill your creativity in an instant. You've got to let it flow and let it go, knowing that there will be a gem that will come up sometime in the next 10 or 15 minutes of your creative outburst, and guarantee it will. The trouble is most people don't even let themselves get to 15 minutes of creativity because they're self-judging and self-criticizing. In the first 3 minutes, they give up. Don't judge. You want to set a goal. Say, I want to write 100 headlines and I'm not stopping until it's written. There will be some beauties in there. And there'll be some complete crap too. But there'll be some beauties in there that you can dine out on in your marketing life for a long time in your business. One of the clients that I work with, and we're now 10 years on, he was going through a quiet patch. We were going to do some advertising for him. Advise him on some advertising and promotions that he was going to implement himself in his business. And I said, you need headlines, buddy. I gave him my headlines document and I said, I want you to write a bunch of headlines for each of these examples. And I gave him a document that had 30 or 40 different phrase formulas for headlines. He wrote 250 over a 2-day period. And he's still got that Word doc on his hard drive. And every time now, and I still work with him now, every time we go to do a marketing campaign, he'll pull that document out. He'll add to it. There's some things that are no longer relevant because he works with technology. So technology's moved on a lot in the last decade. But he keeps them there because even though they were talking about old technology, the way they were talking about old technology can be relevant to talking about new technology. So we can swipe concepts and ideas out of it and put the new technology into it. So that idea of a swipe file, you want to create your own swipe file. And when you get into creativity, go and write lots and lots of headlines. Okay, I'll close this one down now and I'll come back to you for topic number 5, the first sentence. Very, very important.